Hey guys, I thought I'd hop on here on my lunch break because I can't eat anyway. I am growing more and more frustrated that one of these days I'm gonna have to go and find like a video about like puppies and kitties, and then just get on here and be like, guys, look at this. Unfortunately, I mean, one of the only reasons why I even have this channel is because things have gotten so out of control that I felt the need that it needed to be made. So, you know, unfortunately, it's because of the chaos that I am even talking to you right now. So I guess that means that's what we have to talk about now. Hopefully soon I can report some, I do have some good news. Some good news, depending on how you look at it, is that I guess Pam Bondi is being subpoenaed to release the rest of the Epstein files, which is great because it is long overdue. I do worry that, for every day that it takes them, as long as it takes to release the files, it's probably every day that they are just scrubbing and getting rid of information that we'll never know. I've already accepted the fact that there's just going to be things that are horrific things that we should know that we will never know. There are certain things that God only knows. It just, at the end of the day, that's always going to be that. But I do still think that they should be held to the standard that they have to release them, whatever that looks like. And hopefully unredacted. Outside of the victims, I think that everything else needs to be unredacted. I want to know who is sending the emails, who's receiving the emails. I want to know what doctors are involved, all of it. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, some good news is that she's been subpoenaed. And the reason why my stomach is just, I literally, when I watched this, I actually cried. It was very difficult for me to watch. My husband's actually the first one. He said, look at this, and he showed me the video. He showed me the video of one of our Marines being forcibly removed. And he didn't give me any context. He didn't tell me what the video said or anything. He just said, hey, look at this. And I looked, and I'm watching it. I'm like, geez, what is going on? And I see him yelling, and he's saying, we should not be going to war for Israel or something along those lines. And all of a sudden, I hear this popping sound, and I immediately knew what had happened. I heard the people in the background saying that his hand was caught, his hand was broken, and then they, yelling the senator just broke his arm, I think they said his hand, but it's come out now that it was actually his arm. And I remember just being absolutely horrified. Seeing stuff like that on movies makes me uncomfortable. There are certain things that I just cannot watch. I used to be a horror movie fan. No, I can't anymore. I just can't stomach it. Call me old, call me whatever you want, call me a prude, that's fine. There's certain things I just can't watch. And there are certain things that even though I could watch them, I couldn't watch certain things of them. Like anything that had to do with someone's bones being broken, teeth being removed is another one. I can't. Anything that has to do with dental, even just regular dental work, that is not horrifying work, but that bothers me. But yeah, someone's bones being broken, it's almost like they broke my bone. Like I can just feel it throughout my whole body. It's just something that makes me cringe so hard that I just can't even tolerate it. And so I watched this without knowing that that was going to happen. Thanks a lot, husband. Mr. Reckoning, if you will. And I was horrified. And then for more context, I did end up seeing that the full picture, because after he had shown me that, of course, that's all you see now in the media. So you definitely don't need me to report it to you, because it's being reported on enough. But what I will say is that I don't understand it. I just don't. I would like some help understanding the thought process on how we got here. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that we had a constitutional right of free speech. Now, again, I wasn't there. I am watching this as somebody who wasn't at the meeting when this happened. I saw it just like everyone else on the video. And so all we know is the video from when it started and to when it ended. Okay, we don't know what happened before people started recording, and we don't know what happened since after, but from what I saw, it was difficult to watch. Now, he's a Marine, and I'm going to give him the basic respect that he deserves as being a Marine for our country. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that he was there with good intentions. And so assuming that he was there with good intentions and he wasn't causing any problems prior to when the video started and wasn't bothering this senator outside of what we saw in the video, if what we saw in the video from start to finish was truly all that happened, then that is probably one of the most disgusting, vile things that I've seen in a really long time. I mean, outside of, again, what we've been seeing in the media in regards to the ICE situations and people being shot in the head and just in the streets. And now our Marines having their arms broken. It seems as though that those who are in positions of power are not, they either don't understand the Constitution, which is really concerning to me. I just personally feel, and you don't have to agree with me on this, but I personally feel like you should at least understand some of the constitutional rights. Some might argue that you need to understand all of them to be in that type of a position or role. I'm just saying, like, at least some of them. At least some of them. And it seems like you don't. It seems like they don't understand it. Like, how can you be a senator and you don't understand the people's constitutional rights? And I'll go a step further and say, what gives them the right to grab or put their hands on a military member in that way? I don't understand. And maybe he was talking out of, and this is what I'm saying, just help me understand. Maybe he was talking out of turn. Maybe I'm not, there's some sort of context that I'm missing. And I'm open to being wrong, as I always am. So I'm not gonna come out and completely just drag this senator through the mud, although with the video, based off of the video alone, I wouldn't be sad if that happened, but there's enough people doing that already. I'm just saying I would like to have a full and complete understanding so that when I do that, when I do call out, as a matter of fact, let's name their names, right? I wrote it down here because I want to be clear when I say this. Senator Tim Sheehy, is that how you pronounce it? I don't know if it's Sheehy or she, whatever it is, doesn't matter. I think you deserve whatever disrespect follows from here on out. Truthfully, I mean that with every fiber of my being. That was uncalled for and unnecessary. And that is based off of solely what we know in that video. If there is anything outside of that video that provides more context into why you did what you did, that you think would exonerate you from the complete utter backlash that you are currently and about to receive, then enlighten me. I'm open to hearing why you would do something like that. There are two sides to every story. I think I already have an idea, but like I said, I'm open to hearing why you would do something so disgusting. And that's because I'm a nice person. I'm probably the only YouTuber right now that is even willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. But that's only because I like to look at everything from all angles before I make a decision. So, this is me being nice. And if this is not, this is me being nice, by the way, guys. This is me being nice. But I do think that he deserves whatever he gets from here on out. I think a broken arm as well might even be considered. And I'm not advocating for violence. I'm just saying, some people believe for an eye and an eye for an eye. And I think our Marine, I had his name here. It was Marine Brian McGinnis. Yeah, I think he took his licks, right? So it's only fair. Again, I'm not advocating for violence. I'm just advocating for justice and fairness. If you want to go around breaking people's arms, well, are you going to be surprised when people break your arms? And for what exactly? For what? He stood up and said that we shouldn't be fighting this war for Israel. That's his opinion. He's entitled to it. And the moment he said, all right, get out of here, get out. Like, what? Now, as I've mentioned before in my previous videos, I value my privacy. There's not a lot of information that you guys know about me, but I have a feeling that you're probably going to get to know me quite well, because this channel's not going anywhere. It's growing. People are interested in the truth, and they should be. They're smart. We are smart people in this country. And so this channel's only going to grow. It's only going to make sense for you guys to get to know me. So, I have a husband, and that I have a job, and I try my best to bring you guys information to the best of my ability. And I like to share my opinion, and you guys like to hear it. Another thing is that I do have kids. I have 3 kids. Okay, they're all boys. So I work. I'm a mom. I'm an American. I'm married happily. And I love that. I love that I have that, and I'm blessed to have all of those things, especially in a day like today. My lunch break's almost over, so I gotta get going. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because there was a time, so I was watching Valhalla, VFT, as I do occasionally. I think he does great work, and I like to hear his opinion. So I was watching him, and my oldest came in the room, and he's 8, so he's not always saying he's an 8-year-old. He thinks everything's funny. He likes to make jokes, whatever. And he's never seen Valhalla before, because I usually don't watch this stuff around my kids. Not that Valhalla has a show that you can't watch around kids, but every once in a while he'll let out an F-bomb or something like that, and I think he's been trying to cover those up and everything, and I do appreciate that. But in any case, I mean, my kids, they don't need to see everything that is being talked about in the world right now. I try to protect their innocence as much as I can. So it's not just something that, I usually watch them in the evening when they've gone to bed. But anyway, he was up late and he came into my room and he saw him on my TV and he goes, "Who's this beardy?" or something like that. I can't even remember what he said, but because he's got a beard, and he just thought it would be funny to say something about him having a beard. And it wasn't even anything that rude or bad. I think he was just being a kid and whatever. But something inside of me just felt wrong. It felt icky. And, I guess I have morals, and to hear my son try to crack jokes or make fun of a veteran, it just didn't sit right with me. I mean, I don't want him doing that to anyone, and we do have those conversations, and again, he is a child and he is learning, and it is my responsibility to correct that type of behavior, and I do my best. And so immediately I just told him, I said, that guy right there he's a veteran. He's one of our veterans for this country. He served, and what you just did was extremely disrespectful. That was extremely disrespectful. You don't talk about anyone like that, but especially our veterans. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. And he looked surprised a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know." He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that." And it's fine for him to not know that. He's learning. He's a kid. Okay? And now he knows. And now my 8-year-old actually has more respect for our veterans than the Senator of Montana, Tim Sheehy, or whatever his name is. Imagine that. There are children who have more respect for other people and our veterans than the senator. I think somebody should have told him a long time ago that you don't treat veterans like that. So I guess maybe he missed the lesson, he missed the memo. I don't know, I'm not his mom. But if I was, I would be disgusted. I would be disappointed. So that's how I feel about it. And I'm sorry I couldn't come to you guys with better news, but it just seems as though every single time somebody speaks their mind in this country, they either get shot and killed or their arm broken now. Even our veterans, our Marines, don't have the ability to speak their mind. I mean, what is going on? I'm at a loss for words. Like I said, I couldn't even eat, so that's why I'm making this video, to just talk about it, even if it's with you guys, and just get it off my chest, so that hopefully I can go home with my family and be able to eat dinner without being sick to my stomach about seeing what I saw. And I hope you guys can too. I think that we're starting to see a shift here. I talked about this in my video yesterday, where more and more Americans are more and more fed up, and they're just not going to tolerate it. They're just not going to tolerate this kind of behavior anymore. And I said that before this happened. It's just, I'm telling you, we are a volcano right now, just this close to erupting. I mean, it is. And guess what? If that's what needs to happen, that's what needs to happen. But more and more people need to start standing up and speaking out against this, because, man, I think the bravest thing anybody can do right now, the most courageous thing anybody can do right now, any American, is speak the truth. Keep telling the truth. Don't let them sweep it under the rug. Don't let them filibuster. Don't let them minimize it anymore. We're calling it for what it is, and we're going to keep speaking the truth. You can break our arms. You can try to kill us. You can kill us. But you can't kill all of us. You can't break all of our arms. So, good luck trying. All right, guys, I better get back to work. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you later.